Good morning. I'm Carla Davis Luster, and you are tuning into the Us Review. Today, we're going to talk strictly about love and how can you tell when someone is in love with you. Season 1, Episode 4, Is Your Love Mutual? And how can you tell when a man or woman is actually in love with you? We're going to talk about that today. However, before I get started, I have to say happy Valentine's week, okay? Not just day, but week, because I've been seeing people out partying, taking their loved ones out on dates, and it has just been fantastic. So happy Valentine's week, people. Love is definitely in the air, and let's keep it in the air. And when I was preparing myself for talking to you guys today on the subject of love, that happens to be one of my favorite topics, obviously with me doing all of these lives, the Us Review, that's what you're tuning in to. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in. I gathered some information. I was trying to gather information centered around love. And according to some of the information I gathered, what really just kind of like struck me as what I wanted to talk about was love. Actually, there are several colors that symbolize love. There happens to be, when I was looking them up, about 7 of them. I'm going to talk about a few of them. Each of them actually represented something different. The color actually represented something different. However, it was a symbolism for love. Let's start off with red. Everybody knows that red is, like the color for love. Everybody's probably walking around today in red. I see a lot of people in pink. But, you go to the stores, you got all these red balloons or whatever else. And red actually symbolizes the heart, okay? Love, when you think about love, they have my heart. And then there was blue. Blue actually symbolized the head. And when I thought about the head, it was more, that I'm mentally focused on you. When I tie it back into love is that, you have my mind. You have my mind, you have my heart, okay? So moving to the next color, it was yellow. Now this one kind of, I don't want to say vexed me, but I didn't really know. What I came up with, yellow stood for conditional. And to me, that kind of said that it spoke to me as if certain things were happening, then that means that, we have love. It's conditional. It's contingent on something happening or something transpiring. So I don't know if that was one of my favorite colors, so I kind of moved on for that. And then there was green. Everyone knows that green kind of like symbolizes that that nature, organic things, health and whatever else. And that stood for Godhead, nature. Then I got to purple. Purple kind of combined the red and the blue. It stood for a head and the heart. So, I don't know if you mix those two colors together, you get purple. But the purple in itself stood for the same things that red and blue actually stood for. The head and the heart. Then we got to brown, and I'm going to talk a little bit about brown. Brown stood for chocolate, sweetness, and everything. That's kind of obvious, because chocolates are brown or whatever. However, I want to make mention of 2 days that actually people go way out on and do things on these 2 days centered around, loved ones and whatever that is. And that's Sweetest Day, which, I just wanted to make mention when I looked up Sweetest Day and got some information on that, which I've been celebrating Sweetest Day for a long time, is that the woman is supposed to spearhead that. She is the one that takes the lead on Sweetest Day, with whatever you're doing, if it's reservations, staying in the house, cooking dinner, getting a cart, whatever that may look like. Sweetest Day is supposedly the woman takes the lead. Now, Valentine's Day is definitely a national day. Everyone knows about Valentine's Day, okay? Not so much Sweetest Day because I've been in other states, I've been places and mentioned Sweetest Day, and some people didn't even know what I was talking about. Sweetest Day, what is that? And I got into it or whatever, and they said it's kind of cool, whatever, but yet and still they did not know what that was. Valentine's Day is a national day. That is the day that the guy is said to take the lead. So, with that said, guys, it's early. If you haven't done anything, You need to get out there, get some chocolates, some flowers, whatever, and ladies, don't be shy. You can, make sure that you are, reciprocating, or you're doing, returning a favor. And it doesn't have to necessarily be that you're buying anything. Let me be clear about that. Just make sure you do something to symbolize or show some love, even if it's just having a conversation or just grabbing that loved one and hugging them and saying, baby, I love you. That's easy. That doesn't cost any money, okay? So that was brown. Now, here's my favorite, gray. And I don't want to, a lot of you are probably looking at me, probably thought I was going to have on red or whatever else. No, let me tell you why. Gray, it symbolizes mutual love. That's where I'm at, mutual love, which is definitely my favorite. And let me talk a little bit about gray, okay, because it's such my favorite. Gray is a color that's of intellect, it's of compromise, and it's said to be the diplomatic color. Listen to this. It negotiates between the black and the white. It's the safe zone, you guys. Gray is usually looked at, when you think about it, as safe, conservative, and private. Yet it can be elegant, and I'll stop there. When I'm styling someone, if they are very conservative and they're not flashy and they don't like to be really, overdone, gray is a safe zone, and it is definitely an elegant color. So you can dress it up or dress it down, and you can make it look cool. When you think about it, people use the term gray day. This is a gray day. It's, whatever else. But gray can actually, those days are kind of my favorite as well, because I feel like it's a relaxing day. I look at it a little differently. A relaxing day, a sexy day, where you want to grab some popcorn, maybe grab some wine, watch a movie, if you can. I know everyone works, but gray is, it's got its thing. It's kind of cool, and it's a little bit mysterious because it lives somewhere in the middle of black and white. So gray is my favorite, and today we are talking about, is your love mutual? And I wanted to wear gray because, hey, red is hard, you got all of that or whatever else, but living in the mutual, not everything, shall I say, is going to be a 50-50 thing. You may have to give a little bit here or there on each or either side, but it should be living somewhere in the mutual, okay? That part always has stuck out to me, the diplomatic part and negotiation. Let me say this. Negotiations typically mean that both parties are getting some of what they want. It's not one-sided, like I said. I think that's where you definitely want your relationship to be. Deciding things together and making sure that no one is left out. It's not that you're chasing that person, this person is chasing you, but you guys are living in that love together. You both mutually know that you have respect, you have love, you have appreciation, and all of those things for the person that you are with. And you can, take this information and put it in different scenarios. And that doesn't have to necessarily be that person that you're in a relationship with or the intimacy or whatever else. It is definitely a great thing. And last but not least, and I'm gonna move on off of the gray because you got why I'm wearing gray, and you know that gray is my favorite when it comes to love and the symbolisms for love. The movie 50 Shades of Grey. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty cool movie. Maybe, if you guys don't have anything to do, rent it, go on, whatever, demand, pull it up, watch it. It's kind of fun. It's about this rich guy, and he, runs into this girl, and he has this contract that he wants her to sign, to do some things in order for them to have a relationship. But it's a negotiation going on there. Now, I can't say that that's kind of like real life stuff, and it may be very well real life stuff, because I really truly believe there's worlds out here that we don't know anything about and that they're going on, and we would be amazed at what happens. But the 50 Shades of Grey movie, it finally made sense to me, because I always wondered, lash getting in my eye, I always wondered, why did they name it 50 Shades of Grey? I didn't get it, so it kind of helped me, looking up the colors and stuff that symbolize love, that helped me to pull together what the meaning was for the movie 50 Shades of Grey. So check it out, I'm promoting that, whatever. And I gotta say, many times when we are dating, I'm going to go into this, and I've said this before. We are on our best behavior, and this is a little bit still talking about, making sure that your love is mutual. On our best behavior, we're going along with things, because we really want to land this person, we really like them, and we are kind of compromising what we like, and it's sometimes we do it with things that we would never compromise or whatever, just to be able to get close to this person. And then after time passes, we start to wonder, how does he or she really feel about me? Am I wasting my time with this person? Is this the real thing? And, you're just wondering. And if you are the person that is wondering, the person that's wondering, you probably is the one that have fallen for the other person, and maybe impossibly they're not showing you signs that they're quite where you are, or maybe they're not showing you anything. However, the information I looked over was more to measure how a guy feels. But anyone, let me say this, anyone can use this, to kind of determine. And it's just little things that you can just, see if that's happening in your relationship, kind of like little triggers to let you know whether or not the person actually really kind of likes you. And let me say, if you are wondering, once again, you are probably the person that's already there. Now, every week, I do take a preface from my book, and this time is going to be from chapter 4 and page 51, paragraph 4, and it is pretty interesting what I'm going to read to you. And once again, this is my novel, The Woman Tells. Here's the back. I always show that. You can get it on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. Also on my website, AskCarlaDL.com. And just to make the announcement, I'm Not a Homewrecker, Opportunist Maybe is available for you to purchase on Amazon and on my website, AskCarlaDL.com. So please get out there and get that, because I'm just going through the chapters with the Us Review. I'm take the preface from my books. I'm right now working through The Woman Tells, and eventually I will be working through I'm Not a Homewrecker, Opportunist Maybe. So if you're following this and you're doing things, please, please, please get out there and purchase it. It is definitely a great read. And guys, if you're still looking for something for your girl, purchase it on Amazon and just let them know that you're dead at, because it's a good read, okay? Let me read this to you. So, and then I'll just keep going and get into the things, some of the signs that you can look for to know, is your love mutual? Today, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the Us Review. And today I'm talking about, is your love mutual? How can you tell when someone is in love with you? Now, this stuff that I'm going to be telling you is not written in stone. It's just a few little, I guess, trinkets that you can use to, say, you don't do this, they don't do that. And I think it's some truth to it, because I actually looked this up as well. I actually read a lot of relationship books and different things, and I'll have a surprise for you guys in the future. I am completing something where I will be certified. So anyways, once again, you're tuning into the Us Review. We're talking about, is your love mutual? How can you tell when someone loves you? And right now I'm about to read a clip or a snippet from my novel, The Woman Tells. You might want to ask some questions about your extracurricular activity investor, both sides. Have they had other relationships? How did they work out? Is there a pattern of relationship changes every so many months, years, etc.? So you might want to ask yourself, if the person you're involved with, are they jumping from relationship to relationships? How many have they had in the last year? If they tell you 12, you might want to, put your brakes on there. It's like, okay, this person is kind of changing out every. So now then, happy Valentine's Day. I see you guys. Hi. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining me. So should you take it further or become serious? Are there children involved? Very important. Did they tell you about them? What are their ages and how involved are they with them? If you are like me, they should be involved in doing everything a parent should be doing. Brings me to, how responsible are they? So if they're not responsible with the things that they're supposed to be taking care of for themselves, for their children, and things that are very important and that should be a priority in their lives, then you might want to wonder, if you get involved with this person and in a relationship with this person, how responsible are they going to be with you? So that's some other stuff that you want to look at. Where and what roles Does the baby mama play, daddy play? Are they still in their lives? Are they still with someone else? The problem will come when and if they are still involved with the person and the baby mama daddy still wants them. That's always drama. Children are sometimes used as a pawn to manipulate situations, causing major problems within a relationship. So I say, if it's all of that, you don't need it, run, okay? Back to the storytelling. He called and wanted to finally talk. Last but not least, let me read this. A perfect day would be that your person feels the same way that you do, and you both graduate into feelings and expectations. Now you are working with something, but don't jump the gun too fast. Let the next stage play itself out. Have your conversation at every stage to keep the communication flowing. I always talk about communication, and it's very important. Because I have always been told, when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. So don't assume things when you're trying to figure out something in a relationship. Communication, you need to talk about it. I'm one that likes to know and be told up front, even if it's not what I want to hear. With that information, it allows me the opportunity to choose and if I want to be a part or not. So the more communication, the better. And if you know what's happening in a situation, you can make the determination and you can decide yourself on whether or not you want to actually stay in it, because you've been given an opportunity to, know what's going on. Okay, I know he has this baggage or she has this baggage, but yet I still love them and I still think that we can work this out because I think there is something there. Then go ahead. But if you're like having apprehension and everything else, then you might want to run. So now, let me ask you again the question. We're talking about, how mutual is your love? I'm trying to get you guys to think about this. Are you in the gray? I have on gray. Gray is mutual. Compromising. Once again, let me explain that. It doesn't have to be a 50-50 for every little single thing. Some things you may give up, and just go along with that person to make them happy. And if you're with someone, you want to see them happy. And then vice versa, just make sure that it's being turned around and that you're getting some of the things that you want. Is your love mutual? How can you tell when a man or a woman, have interest in you? So right now, I'm going to rattle off some things, and you may agree with them, you may not. Once again, it's always my opinion. Hello, happy Valentine's Day to you too. Hello. Let me say this. Once again, everything is not written in stone, and everything is not talking about your relationship. Pick and choose what applies to you, and that's not, hey, put it on the shelf, and maybe you can pull it off the shelf and help someone else that may be having issues when you're talking to that girlfriend or you talking to your boy and he's having issues. Because once again, everything flips back and forth, and I don't just talk from one side. I always keep repeating that. So first of all, he or she shows interest in you. If they're not showing interest in anything that you do, you might want to question it. He or she always sneaks a glance at you. What does this mean? Okay, I do run some of my show things and questions, by friends, family, loved ones, or whatever, to see what their thoughts are, when I'm gathering information. And when I said this, everybody was like, what do you mean by that? Here's the thing with that. Have you ever been sitting somewhere, you're with your significant other, the one you're in love with or whatever, and you're doing something and you look up to find them looking at you, and the look on their face is just, it's sexy, it's lustful, in this case you want it to be lustful. It's they're looking at you with admiration. You can tell that they're feeling something. It's just, you get those butterflies in your stomach, Now, let me say this. If they're looking at you like with a look that like, eek, 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 you might want to run, because it ain't the admiration thing. It's something else. So take sneakers and run. But he or she, you catch them glancing at you. Let me keep moving. They maintain eye contact. And I want to say, I always say this, in business, it's very important with eye contact. To me, eye contact, it is not, once again, written in stone, but it kind of gives you sincerity. Whether or not a person is sincere, you kind of can go, are they like pulling my leg or whatever else? But eye contact is very important with a lot of things. And I say to my kids when they're talking to me, if they're not giving me eye contact or stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to think that they're bullshit. And excuse me, the French, but it's like, you know what? You need to tell me what's really going on. Or I can't help you, or this ain't working out for me. So you need to sit here and tell me what's up. Okay? So eye contact is very important. he tries or she tries to make you happy doing things that make you happy. And that's where I talked about that 50-50. Not everything has to be 50-50. You should have a mutual love, but once, on some things you want to give, whatever. He wants to go out bowling with the guys or whatever, and he really doesn't do that, and you always say, yeah, let him go. It's like it's not going to hurt anything. Vice versa, if she wants to go get her nails done with her friend, it's cool. They accept you with your flaws. If someone is always trying to change you, always trying to dress you like someone else, always trying to say this person does this and always this is this, they're not accepting you. It's like, it's okay to make your partner or your significant other better. You can get suggestions, but if everything about them is wrong and you're always trying to change them, you gotta question yourself to see, am I really attracted to this person? Do I really like the way this person is? Or am I trying to mold and make them into something that they are not? That's not cool. He or she talks about the future, and this is a big one. Okay, if you've been with this person a while and they never talk about the future, it is, just a thing where they're in and out, you are not included. You got to question that if your feelings and your heart has moved to a place where you want to be with them and they're not talking to you. And I'm not saying that you guys have gone out on 2 dates and now you're ready to start planning the wedding. That is not exactly what I'm saying, because it takes time to get to know a person. Let me say that. I'm still getting to know me. I still get to know, in relationships and in my relationship, I have found I am still learning things, and I will continue to learn things, because not everything comes out overnight and in one date. Okay, so keep that in mind. So once again, they're talking about the future, and they care for you. Your needs come first within reason, not something retarded or something ridiculous, whereas you want them to miss work and they lose their job. You don't want to do that, but it's within reason that they're putting you first. They find and make time for you being with you. Let me say this is a big one too. If a person that you're seeing or supposed to be seeing never has time for you, they are always busy. I promise you, anyone that knows me, I am one of the busiest persons probably in America, okay? But if there's something that I need to do, keep in mind I said need, and that I really want to do, and if it's important to something or someone that is important to me, you have to make that time. You've got to learn to put some things aside and come back to it. But if they always busy, ain't never got time, I lost my phone, think about it. They remember the little things. That to me is another sexy thing. That means that they're thinking about you. They're thinking about what you had. They're thinking about the memorable times that you've had together, the moments that you've shared, and that the memories that you've made. So I love that. Remembering the small thing. I said already that they put you, first within reason. They make you feel special. And today, people, is a day that you can make that person feel special. It is Valentine's Day. It is still early. They may be at work already. Get out there, do something. Or just merely when they come home, be there and, hey, I love you. I just wanted to sit down. We're not going to do anything. But I think just the sincerity and coming from the heart, it is so special. It is so special. And they're always, attentive to you. They're not just blowing you off all the time. You're just a pass by or whatever else. They are attentive. They pay attention to you. Although they're busy, you get some attention. They call you often. Calling someone throughout the day. Today, here's something else you can do. Just give them a call and say, you know what, it's that special day. We're not doing anything or whatever else. And I'm speaking to stuff where you don't have to always spend money, okay? Spending money, if your thing is contingent on money, you ain't got nothing but, a paid escort service or whatever. So if everything's got to be about money, then that's not it. Now, there are some things that, the finances do come into play. I'm not just totally negating it. I'm just saying that, your love has to be full circle. It can't just be one-sided. And a good thing to do today is that just pick up the phone and call that person and say, I just want to call you and tell you that I love you today, and tell them how special they are. And they value, when you're with a person, they value your opinion. To me, the value in the opinion plays into the future, because if they don't value your opinion and don't care what you think, if you're going to be together in the future, it's a thing where you guys are deciding together. So your opinion and your values and stuff like that kind of will be important to that person making decisions, because you plan to be together. So just think about that. Now, here's the one that I know everybody is waiting on me to get to: the sex and the intimacy. It should be there. Okay. I am going to be doing a show on that. Is your how do you deal with a partner that's whacked? I don't know what the name is going to be right now, but I will be talking about that. However, that can't be the only thing that you're built on. If you are with a person and all you guys do is, you do the woo woo, the wah wah, and when they're done, they're like heading for the door, or, they're not talking to you. However, and if they are talking to you, the questions are, where are my shoes? Because they got to go. Think about it. And if that's the kind of relationship you want, and that's all you want from that person, because you have many, many different kind of relationships, then you're fine. But if that's someone that you're trying to be with and make a life with, and that's all that's happening, and you're, wondering, that's all they're doing, and, they're wooing you, and then they're gone, might want to think about that one as well. And here's another one. You've met the important people in their life. Let's talk about their life. If they're never bringing you around, all it is sex, they're not spending time, and not talking about the future. I've called off a lot of things. You got to think about it. And in turn, I've been in the past, if I'm serious with someone, I want to know where they come from. I want to know what kind of DNA are they made of? Who are your family members? Where's your mama? Where's your daddy? And if I'm not good enough for you to take me around them to meet them, then what do you really think of me? What am I to you? How important am I to you? Okay, so these are just a few things that I want you guys to think about. Today, you're tuning into the Us Review. We're talking about, is your love mutual? How can you tell when a person really cares for you or whatever? This is not the end all be all, but this is some thought. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is some thought starters for you to guard your heart. Your heart needs to be guarded. Guard your heart, and women, guard your girl. Don't be giving it to everybody. It's like that is... excuse the expression, and I'm gonna say this: I'm an exclusive bitch, and always have been. You have to make sure that you're doing things that keep you, sacred or whatever. And whatever you're doing, extracurricular, just make sure that you are polished. And I don't know what to say about that, but you want to meet people. A family, you want them to meet yours, and if none of these things are happening, you need to really rethink your relationship. And last, I'm getting to the end. His language, or her language, has morphed into more from the I to the we. They're not always talking I. They're talking we. That means that's the future. They're making plans. They are including you. Those things are important. They're comfortable around you. They want to stay with you. They're not always thinking of reasons to get away from you. You've met the kids. If it's going to be a blended thing, you've met the kids. And let me stop here and say this, which is very important on both sides. If you have children, I'm very, I've always been this way that, if we're not in a serious relationship, you're not meeting my kids. You're not, because they are very important and precious to me, along with my girl. They are precious to me, and not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that I may go, not that you go out on a lot. And if you go, just because you go out on dates and stuff like that doesn't mean that you're sleeping around or whatever. Let me be clear with that. However, that is very important, and those are sacred things. So everyone that you go out with and stuff like that, you should not be exposing your kids to. If they're going to be around and there's someone significant and serious with you, then maybe so you see it going somewhere. But everybody, that's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for your kids to see you looking like. Okay, so keep that all in mind. And basically, last but not least, and I'm just going to cut this off because I've been going a minute and rattling. I think that I've given you guys some pretty good points. You guys, he or she depends and rely on you for things. They start to depend on you. It's not that they are a dependent, is that they're starting to bring you into their world. You're starting to be part of the wood grain and the plans, the future, because if you're married or if you're in a serious relationship, you do rely on a person. They rely on you. I'm not saying that you're not responsible, that's not the kid, but you work together to make things happen. So with that said, you have tuned into the Us Review. Today's topic was, is your love mutual? How can you tell when that person, that special person that you feel that is special, is in love with you? So please pass this along. I ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can find me on any platform. Ask Carla, AskKarla. My name is not spelled with C. I get a little offended with that C. So please follow me. Today you are looking at this on IG and TikTok. Hi, IG and TikTok. Tonight, if you missed this and you want to pass along to friends, it will be posted on YouTube and Facebook as well. And keep in mind, all of this stuff is an opinion. I look up different things, and people have different personalities. Sometimes they don't want to be seen as vulnerable. Keep this in mind. And more or less, you know who you're with. You kind of feel it. Trust in your instincts and your intuitions. They typically are on point for what you're feeling. So once again, take as much as this that applies to you, use it positively, have some conversations, set some expectations, and, move forward in your relationship, or not, because not everything is meant to be. And you have to accept that and be mature enough to know and pick up the pieces and keep it moving. Once again, I'd like to say, please go out and purchase my novels. This is The Woman Tells, and then I'm Not a Homewrecker Opportunist. Maybe I should have had a copy here. Is available for you now, Amazon. And The Woman Tells is BarnesandNoble.com, and then both of them are on AskCarlaDL.com. Until next week, I want to say that this has been fun. Once again, is your love mutual? Are you in the gray? Take care, and thank you for tuning in. This is the Us Review, and I'm Carla Davis Luster. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm turning off.